Thanks to everyone who watched my short on approved vendor list, that is AVL. Today we are going a step further to look at the full qualification process. What is vendor qualification process? The vendor qualification process is a systematic method used by organizations to assess, audit, and approve suppliers based on financial, operational, technical, and compliance criteria before doing business. It ensures that authorized suppliers can consistently deliver quality goods and services while minimizing supply chain risk. The first phase of vendor qualification process is vendor identification and requirement. Vendor identification and requirement is the critical first phase of vendor qualification in the pharmaceutical industry, ensuring that raw materials, packaging suppliers, and external services meet strict regulatory and quality standards. First, we will identify need for material or service. Then define technical, quality, and regulatory requirement. Then raise request for a quotation, that is RFQ or proposal. Then the output for the vendor identification and requirement. The qualified vendor requirements defined. The second phase, it will come vendor evaluation, that is desk review. Then what is vendor evaluation process? The vendor evaluation process is a structured method businesses use to assess, score, and review suppliers based on key criteria like cost, quality, and reliability. The core steps include defining goals, setting criteria, and collecting data. First, what we will do? First, review vendor questionnaire and supporting documents. Then evaluate quality management systems, that is QMS compliance. Then assess regulatory certification, history, and performance. Then key output for vendor evaluation is vendor evaluation report. And third phase of vendor qualification process is risk assessment. What is risk assessment? A risk assessment for vendor qualification in the pharmaceutical industry is a structured science-based process used to evaluate, categorize, and monitor suppliers based on the criticality of the materials or services they provide and their compliance with good manufacturing practices, that is GMP. First, we will perform the risk assessment based on product or service impact. Then categorize vendor, that is in high or medium or low risk. Then decide requirement of on-site audit. Then what should be the key output? A risk assessment report and audit decision. Then fourth phase is on-site or virtual audit. Vendor qualification in the pharmaceutical industries uses a risk-based approach combining document review, sample testing, and either on-site or virtual audits to ensure compliance with a good manufacturing practice, that is GMP standards. Plan and schedule audit as per audit program, conduct audit as per audit checklist, document observations and classify as critical or major or minor. Then what is key output for on-site or virtual audit? The audit report with the observations. Then 5 phase of vendor qualification process is CAPA and follow-up. Corrective action and preventive actions, that is CAPA, and formal follow-ups in pharmaceutical vendor qualification ensure that suppliers fits identified compliance gaps and maintain safe, high-quality material supplies. Vendor to submit CAPA for audit observations, evaluate effectiveness of CAPA, conduct follow-up audit if required. Then what is the key output for CAPA and follow-up? The CAPA closure and effectiveness confirmation. Then 6 phase is vendor approval. Vendor approval in the pharmaceutical industry is a formal quality assurance process used to evaluate, qualify, and authorize a supplier to provide materials or services that consistently meet predefined safety, quality, and regulatory standards. Review all evaluation, audit, and CAPA records. Approve vendor as for risk category. Add to approved vendor list, that is AVL. A key output is approved vendor list, that is AVL. Then 7 phase is quality agreement. A quality agreement is a legally binding written document that explicitly defines and divides current good manufacturing practice (CGMP) and quality responsibilities between a pharmaceutical company and its vendor or supplier. Establish quality agreement with vendor, define roles, responsibilities, quality terms, and regulatory compliance. And key output is signed quality agreement. In 8 phase it will come ongoing monitoring and performance review. Ongoing monitoring and periodic performance reviews ensure that approved vendors in the pharmaceutical industry maintain continuous compliance with the good manufacturing practice, that is GMP standards, and lot-to-lot product consistency. Monitor vendor performance, quality, delivery, and compliance. Review complaints, deviations, and change notification. Periodic performance evaluation. Then key output is vendor performance report. Then 9 phase it will come periodic requalification. Periodic requalification in the pharmaceutical industry is a routine risk-based review of approved suppliers to ensure they maintain continuous compliance with good manufacturing practices, GMP, and quality standards. Requalification as per defined frequency or on change. Reassess risk, audit, and performance. Continue, update, or delist vendor. Then what is QA output for periodic requalification? Requalification status and decision. Then what are the key documents for vendor qualification process? First is vendor questionnaire, then audit checklist, then audit report, then CAPA records, then quality agreement, then approved vendor list, then vendor performance records. A big thank you to my regular viewers who gave me feedback on how I present these definitions. Because of your comments, I have slowed down this breakdown of the approved vendor list so it's easier to follow.